Rock Bottom Coins is the #1 place to get your Madden coins. If you make coins for my videos, sell them to Rock Bottom. If you're buying, use my code GUTBOX for 10% off. Hey, GUTBOX here. It is that time again. It is time for Theme Team Rankings. I know the people have demanded it, and I said, let's do it, okay? So, I want to lay this out before I get into the Theme Team Rankings here. It's very hard to do these things because you never know where to stop, right? Like, which players should you keep on the team? Should you do everybody? Because this time of year, there is like dozens of players that you can put on almost every single theme team, right? From team captains to seasoned players to like just players that get like multiple, like from due to promos, like the Jordan Whiteheads, the Ndamukong Suhs, those kind of players. So there are tons of guys though. So basically, how I'm going to do this ranking, and you're looking at all the previous rankings I've done, September, December. Now we're getting in February. And we're just going to go with what's on the page, right? So, like, if we just take a look at Bears, we're just going to look at what's here, okay? So, let's get into the list. Obviously, like, a lot of these rankings change if you go down like 50-50 and you just make the best team possible with 50-50 behind it, because a lot of these teams are really a quarterback away from being different. So, it's kind of hard. That's like, when I say that and I do this, it's hard to do it. So, let's go ahead. The worst one in the game right now is the Texans. So, let's go ahead and add them to the number 32. 32 Texans. Now, solid offensive line across the board, but their tight end isn't very good. They got JJ Watt as a backup. The receivers are really nice. Andre Johnson would be my number 1, and then you got a couple short guys, but are decently speeded. Your Tyrod Taylor, he's all right, I guess. He's a new combine card. He's fine. Ahman Green is a fine back. Like, we're saying, like, right now, theme teams are stacked, especially if you're, like, making, like, I don't know, for some reason Jordan Whitehead's on every single theme team, but they don't have like the Cam Chancellor, those guys. But like, say you just make a couple substitutions here on defense, right? You put in like Isaiah Simmons at cornerback or Dion Sanders who's 99 speed, and all of a sudden, oh wow, Houston Texans theme team is incredible. So a lot of people are gonna send me pictures. They do this after every time I rank theme teams, like, what, this theme team is only blank, and then you show it of like a bunch of 99s, like 98 stuff. It's gonna be stacked. Or like, yeah, but like, they're all that way, okay? Right now in this time of year, because that's just kind of how the game is. There's a lot of powerful cards. So even though you look at the Texans, like, whoa, Texans are great. Aaron Glenn sucks, okay? This guy is short. I mean, he's fine. Here's the thing. It's also, I'm going to say he sucks, but you will get like, jumped on. There are ways of getting rid of and not making your height as important. And that way, at least for DBs, is through the deep out knockout ability, right? You can do a mid zone too, obviously, but basically if you go deep out zone KO, like Aaron Glenn's 5'9", just don't go for interceptions. All of a sudden you're like just breaking up every pass near him, and sure, you can go for interceptions that are like directly at your chest if it's terrible, but really if it's like a deep one-on-one shot, just knock the ball down. Don't go for pick, you'll get spec caught over. So deep out zone KO and Aaron Glenn, and he'll play about as well as anybody as long as you don't go for the jump picks. But anyways, Texans, my number 32. I don't know if I like it in that view or this view better. Maybe I don't know. We'll roll forward. Number 31 on the list will be the New Orleans Saints. Why is it the Aints? Now, I've used almost every single card at the, every single card you're going to see on like the starting lineups of these teams. This stuff, like, I haven't used like this fullback or whatever, but I've used Teddy, I've used Ricky, I've used all these cards, okay? And while they are very nice, like, there are cards in this game that are just glitchier than others, that play better than others, whether due to height, whether due to traits, whether it's due to stats, a mix of it. Marshawn Lattimore, even though he's the tallest, plays really well. Aaron Glenn, again, short problems right there. PJ Williams, he's awful. I don't know, like, PJ Williams, maybe it's because he's a free card and EA hates us, but that card is terrible. So maybe you can hide him at CB3 and he doesn't get as deep, won't get exposed deep, and just use a deep out KO on Aaron Glenn. But anyways, defensive line is solid. They don't have a ton of speed. Actually, I'd probably start Hendrickson here over Hicks on the edge, now that I see that Hendrickson's there. But anyways, I don't love their secondaries basically. Now you're like, oh, what about Cam Chancellor? Yeah, you can put Cam Chancellor there, but that's not, literally I said I'm not going to do that. That's not how I'm doing these theme team rankings. So Saints are a lot better once you get all your free cards put in, and then maybe a new quarterback. I think like I said off the top, quarterbacks on these theme team rankings move a lot of teams a lot of space down. Like Colts, even though they got Johnny Unitas, he's got a terrible release. Don't like it. Same with Peyton Manning. I think they have the same release. Peyton Manning's got traditional 5. Johnny Unitas has generic 1. Okay, so Peyton Manning's a little bit worse than Johnny Unitas. So I would run Johnny Unitas here. He's good. Derrickson's great running back. 2 great running backs there. Your receivers, you got like 1 really good one and a bunch of okay dudes. Your tight ends, fine, nothing special. You got a great offensive line. Well, your right guard, right tackle aren't. You've got the best strong safety in the game on a full theme team. 97 speed at 6'7", still incredible in my opinion. The problem is you only got 1 corner. Everything else is just bleh, right? Your edges are okay with Freeney and I guess I'll go Buckner in the middle. Who's your other edge in the Colts? Freeney and that's kind of it, right? Ward has only got 91 power move. Yeah, so you only got really like 1 solid edge here too, which is really tough for the Colts theme team, which is why they're ranked. Even with a good quarterback, they don't have a depth of corners. They don't have like a depth on defense either, so that's why they are so low. Number 29 is the Chicago Bears. I thought this team was going to be better when I like first thought of it. I was like, oh yeah, Bears. The problem is they got Nick Foles starting for him. Now, Nick Foles is not terrible, right? When you look at his abilities on him, this is another team that I'd say just start like Joe Namath or Derrick Henry or something at your number 1, or maybe you could use anybody else. But anyways, his abilities, he gets 3 ability slots, so he can get pass lead elite, hot route master, and set feet lead, that kind of stuff. For if you want that hot route master. So Foles is not terrible. But he isn't really like going to set the world on fire. They got, in my opinion, he might be the best running back in the game right now. Cordell Patterson has an incredible juke, has an incredible spin. Plus, on these theme teams, he is high speed and he is wonderful. And then, Walter Payton's obviously their legendary, one of the best running backs of all time. The receiver core is solid. Thing with Hester is he gets every single theme team's chemistries. So when I look at these guys, same with like say Freiermuth on the Steelers, I'm like, yeah, they're really good, but everybody gets them. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah, great Bears. In this exercise though, like he's only on like the Bears, Falcons, whatever. So that's got to be a plus for Brandon Marshall though. He's really solid, tall. The issue is he might be a little bit too slow now, only getting to 97 speed. It's tough because you'll see a bunch of man coverage online, and not being able to separate against man coverage means you're dead in the water on offense. Strong safety, free safety, also pretty poor right there. For some reason, Mud.gg put Jordan Whitehead on every team. I think I talked about that. I don't know why. Their CBs are nothing to write home about. They got Robert Quinn's a good pass rusher. Roquan, if you want to use him, is pretty nice. Ditka, backup middle linebacker. Ditka. And Akeem Hicks is one of the best interior run stoppers, with inside stuff now being 1 AP on him in the game. So a lot of holes on the Bears theme team, and maybe they should be below the Colts. I don't know. Anyways, next up on the list will be the Bills. I actually probably would rather play the Colts than the Bears theme team play with them. Maybe I should switch those around. But anyways, the Bills, they got a great quarterback. We talked about that. So Josh Allen's there, solid. Running back situation's pretty good there. Your receivers, you got 2 good ones. No like 6'5" beasts. Rashad at 6'2" is solid with 95 speed, so we'll get up to 99 with your strat cards and chem boosts. Gabriel Davis, 6'2", also gets up to 98 speed. But anyways, Diggs there, 6 foot, 99 speed. I think Diggs is a great one. Percy Harvin played very well for me too. So a very good receiver core, but more of like not really like a chuck it deep type of team. Like one play beaters will work if you're short or tall, but if you won't get bailed out as much with short receivers. We'll just say. Their offensive line's got like 93 plus across the board, so that's really nice. Strong safety is bad. Free safety, Hyde does not play well. I don't like guys that can't really smack back there. Their cornerback situation is tragic, but they have a decent front 7, but like, I guess decent. I say decent with like Bruce Smith and friends, Mario Williams, but it isn't like, dominating like some of the other ones that we'll see up front here. So, Bills, you are my number 28. Number 27 will be, Browns. Browns at number 27. Why are the Browns so bad? Well, Baker. He's okay. He was like weirdly inconsistent for me. I don't know. I did not like the way Baker Mayfield played. Maybe will play better for you, but he just like ran his passes. Their running back situation don't have like any like 98 overalls like a lot of other teams have there. Odell's your best dude, and you had to run him out of town. Josh Gordon's actually a stud. Like this card, because he powers up, he's 99 speed. This card actually played phenomenal for me. 6'3". This is dang near, I don't want to say end game because it's catching traffic and stuff ain't great, but like he hits the route running thresholds with 99 speed. I think I was pleasantly surprised with how Josh Gordon played for me. He was a stud. And Njoku's a pretty good tight end too. 95 speed, so 97 on the theme team at tight end. That's rare. I can't think of many other teams that get that. Does any other team get, is Njoku the fastest tight end in the game? He might be tied, but I can't remember if anybody else is that close. Their offensive line is phenomenal, except for Conklin, who should get an upgrade. You can move like McCray out there or Wyatt Teller, but you can see that being one of the dominant forces. The problem is the offensive line doesn't matter as much as other positions. Their special teams, I don't really take account to special teams. I just think like, just get the best kicker in the game, then whatever punter, right? Maybe they don't have a good punter, so that's against them, but just get like the best one you can afford with the slow meter. Jabril Peppers, I don't know, maybe that's anti what I was saying in the entire exercise. Maybe I should include the kicker punter in it. So that's, I guess, against Cleveland there. Peppers is short. I did not like the way he played. Even when he first came out, when he was like, one of the best physical guys in the game, I still just got like dotted over top of him. Whitehead, for some reason, again, is on every team here. But I guess he's fine at free safety. But you'd really have like, Taylor Mays or Cam Chancellor if you went with the pure theme team. And you included the guys that can get every single theme team. Wardwall, Skrine, not a good one. I think Greg Newsom might be better than Skrine. I'd probably rather have him out there, but it's not going to be terrible, but it isn't anything phenomenal. It isn't something that you want to like light fireworks off for. So Cleveland is just a bunch of meh, right? It's like the city. All right, we have Los Angeles Chargers right here at number 26. Let's go to that one. All right. Unitas. Studdish. Herbert. Studdish. Tomlinson. He's got to get a better card ASAP. So the running back situation is not great. The receiving situation, though, they got Joyner. Mike Williams is slow, sadly. He isn't. He's only 97 speed, so he's tough against the guys that are running on 99 speed, man coverage, goons. Allworth, actually, people have dotted me with some Allworth action out there. So Allworth, 95 speed, gets up to 99 on the theme team. I don't know, maybe he'll get an upgraded card here soon, but do you really need that upgraded Allworth? Like, we didn't really need the upgraded Youngblood. Youngblood was a huge step up from his captain card, but Allworth's already kind of there. Sanders, Mackey, I think, is fine, but I think I'd rather have Cook as my number one tight end on this team. Your offensive line, I think, is on the low end of good. Your slow, incredible. Derwin James is incredible. Love him. You might want to use him as a user. Weddle, I think, is solid. Adrian Phillips, a little Casey Hayward. Why don't I remember using I use this card, Raiders theme team and everything. I think he's fine. He's just a little on the shorter side. Like I said, like everybody that's not like 6'1" and above is kind of fine. I think like 6 foot Dion Sanders plays pretty well for me, but that's because his change of direction and agility are sky high. Harrison, like I think like your secondary is passable, but like I don't want passable secondaries when guys are out here dotting my face in against them and like they aren't just getting any knockouts or anything. Your pass rush is fine with Ingram and Freeney on the edge. You got Bosa there too, so you can use one of them as an interior rusher. So Chargers though, overall, like I don't know, doesn't make my mouth water. I'm not looking at like a juicy T-bone there when I look at that Chargers theme team. They do have some nice cards though. Vikings NFC North. Who's doing that worse so far? Is it the North? South. Oof. Yikes. Okay. So the Vicks. What are you looking like? Cunningham is good. Little long in the tooth. There's a lot better quarterbacks out there now that can get like all the abilities. Patterson, like I talked about, one of the best running backs in the game. Cook's really nice too. You have Diggs, Harbin that we talked about with Buffalo. Jefferson on top of it. Like 3 studly receivers if you're using them right. Your tight end position, it's underwhelming. I would like to be whelmed a little more. And your safety position, you got Harrison Smith. But luckily with this team is like Cordarrelle Patterson's here, and you might just want to move it to like free safety. Right? Patterson 93 is like severely underrated. I know he's unachievable right now, which kind of sucks. There isn't like a way of... Oh, wait. Does he have like training bypass? Or does he not go into the power? I don't think he doesn't have a power up. There's no training bypass. So that's too bad they can't get a credit out if you just picked up the game now. But Patrick Peterson, I was like blown away with how good this Patrick Peterson played for me. Okay. Mike Hughes, I think like he's a 97 overall. He is just what he is. He's 5'10". You can't really get much out of him more than you expect. You then have Hunter for a pass rush, Williams for a run stopper, Linval Joseph for a run stopper. Who would make my other edge? Floyd, I guess you could activate that Floyd car, who's got some crazy good abilities for cheap. Barr, man, Barr used to be a Madden legend. Now, the way they do linebackers, yeah, you can use them, but yeah. All right. So number 24 will be another North card. EA doesn't like the flyover states. Confirmed. Green Bay. I missed them. Where's the P's? There you are. I guess I don't do my P's and Q's. Anyways, Rodgers is like terrible. He's expensive, but like Namath is just a straight upgrade. I don't know. I really hate what EA did with this. They released Joe Namath with Aaron Rodgers' release, right? Best release in the game, a day before Rodgers came out, and he's significantly cheaper. So like I got some game playing with Rodgers, but I was like, let me get rid of this dude. He's much slower than Namath. Same release. There's really no benefit to running Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. The EA is run by a bunch of people that don't play MUT, and it's kind of sickening at times. Green, their running back situation isn't anything great. Dylan's actually kind of a decent power back. He's like a poor man's Derrick Henry with how thick he is. They got no fullback. Cringe. Adams is a great receiver. Cobb is fine, and then they got nothing. Keith Jackson. I would probably start Jared Cook. Keith Jackson, I think, is a nice card right here, though, since he hits all the route running. 92 speed at 6'2". The issue with that is Jared Cook does all that 6'5", 93 speed. So you start Cook there because he's taller. Bakhtiari, no clue why he doesn't have an upgraded card. I don't know. Did he get caught doing something? Was he banging one of the EA's wives or something? Is that why he doesn't get an upgraded card? No reason for probably second best tackle in the league. Maybe top 3, we'll say, to get a card there. Reggie Clark, Sues on every NFC team for some reason. They kept that one there. Yeah, not a bad one. KGB should probably get an upgrade. Clay Matthews, he's actually like pretty poorly statted if I recall correctly. Power move's only 92, which is just blows my mind. He has a 97 overall card, and one of the best pass rushers of I guess the previous generation got a 92 power move. Holy crud crackers, that's crazy. Their secondary isn't great. I think they got good cards here. Douglas actually made a wild play against me a few games back. I threw like a bubble. Dude like ran to the middle of the field. I threw the bubble, like freaking sprinted back and picked it and pick six me. I was like, what the heck? Never seen that before in my life. So the only card that's ever done that to me in this game. Sprinted inwards and then sprinted outwards and picked my bubble. I don't know. I don't think it was a run commit. Anyways, Packers are this high because of this guy, dude. I know Ted Hendricks is on the Colts, but Packers got some solid pieces around him. Like I talked about, Ted Hendricks as a user, as a deep safety. Ooh, that's chef's kiss. All right, next up, number 23. We're taking our talents to South Beach of Green Bay. No, a different city on the water. We're going to go down to Miami. Where are the D's? There's the D. That's what she said. All right. Miami, okay, you got a decision. Dan Marino, probably my favorite quarterback of all time in Madden Ultimate Team. Hands down. When he came out and he was a team diamond and they gave him those abilities, he was a pocket passer that was powerful. That just like blew my mind. That's the only like one of the only arguments I got for abilities is the fact that pocket passers are relevant in Madden Ultimate Team for at least a while until like the scramblers catch up and get those same abilities. So when Dan Marino came out and until like we got guys that were fast with the same abilities, he had a great release. Right, he's got the Rodgers release too. I was loving him. I like I said, my favorite quarterback of all time. Now he's a little old and there's better quarterbacks now. Drake, Williams, Thurman, all great ones. Even Mostert's a great budget back. You got one of the best fullbacks in the game. Your wide receiver core is great. Waddle's 99 speed. I think Parker with the theme 10. No, he doesn't. He only gets up to 7 speed, so he's slow. But I would go Brandon Marshall since he's 6'5". If I want somebody that speed, get the tall dude that can run block like crazy. Do they show us run block here? 79 run block. Dude, Brandon Marshall, Cooper Kupp out there run block. If you're in like a stretch of their ways, they are not letting go of DBs. Maybe Night Train Lake could shed them. But anyways, Will Fuller, fast, right? He's getting up there to 98 speed. I guess you really want 99. He's got low agility, though, so that's kind of whatever. Regardless, solid team right there. I think Dolphins were much better earlier this year when they had, like, Parker and Marshall together. They just got Waddle, of course, but Gesicki, great tight end. But it's weird that, like, he's 6'6", which is great. Like, almost, I feel like every single tight end we'll look at, starting tight end, is going to be anywhere between, like, 92 and 94 speed. And it's been that way since, like, Blitz. It is, like, when we get to the Falcons, we'll be looking at, like, Kyle Pitts, who's been in the game for, like, 5 months and still has an argument as the best tight end of the game, which is just crazy how much speed and height matters to that position. But it is what it is. Their offensive line, I could give or take. I don't actually love the cards there. Strong safety, Eric Rowe, long in the tooth. Fitzpatrick's fine. He's 6'1". He'll play all right. He's not like a world bender, but I think Minka played well for me when I had him and used him on my Steelers theme team. Byron Jones, Bobby McKay. I look at these cards and like the Dolphins, they're good. They'll win you games, but I think the power level of other theme teams are just higher. And I think the quarterback situation of this one holds it back from being a little bit higher on the tier. I thought when I initially made this list, I thought I'd have Miami a little bit higher because it feels like they've gotten a lot of cards this year, and they have, but maybe not as much recently, and that's why they're a little bit lower here. Because like Dolphins were. Where did I put Dolphins my last ranking in December? I guess Dolphins weren't that high then either. They were only 19 then. But for a little bit, I felt Dolphins was like top 10 in the game, but maybe I'm mistaken. Jacksonville. Okay, Jacksonville is a tragedy. You want to know why? Because they got the best receiver in the goddamn game, but like almost nobody can get him now. Well, nobody can get him now, but you had to ViewBot EA to get this Colin Johnson receiver. The MCS, dude, just for doing stuff like this needs to die. It's such a jerk anti-consumer movement of theirs. They're like, hey, you know what? Either ViewBot us or we're gonna fuck you. All right? So yeah, they got 30,000. I don't know how many people are watching that stuff, but it is such a jerk move for EA not even to give us a power up on Colin Johnson, the 6'6" receiver. Oh man, I'm still pissed about that. I think I'll forever. Like if MCS keeps doing that things. Now I got a Colin Johnson, right? On my Xbox account, I got one, but I'm not talking about me. Like I would be pissed. People got that. Like the benefit of ViewBotting EA should be you get it for free. Okay, not that he's not available anymore. They should 100% make this card available. Here's the thing. Here's the perfect solution. ViewBotting EA, you get an auctionable Colin Johnson. How hard would that be? Make him auctionable. Do it, EA, you cowards. Jimmy Smith, great receiver. Really like the way he played for me. He wasn't like, burn the barn door down. We got to get in to get this card. But he was really good. Torrey Holt, really good receiver too. Fred Taylor, solid. The issue with the Jacksonville and the reason why they rank so low is Nick Foles at quarterback. He's fine, like I talked about before. With, what was that, the Vikings? Was he the best quarterback in the Vikings? I forgot, but I don't know. Anyways, he's fine. But fine don't cook up touchdowns. Well, it can, but Jacksonville with a competent quarterback is much higher on the list. When you look at, like, the studs that they got between Colin Johnson, Nelson's not that good. But they got Ramsey, Glenn's, Okay, they got a great receiving core. I got blinded by the lights. They got a great receiving core. As long as you ViewBotted EA starting like months ago. If you got a time machine, this Jacksonville team's great for you. So just invent the time machine, bro. Man, if you had a time machine, it'd be an interesting challenge. If you had a time machine to 3 months ago, could you make $1 billion? I feel like you could. Depending on how much you start with. Say you start with $1,000 and you have a time machine from 3 months ago. Could you earn $1 billion off of it? I feel like that would be easy to do. All right, anyways, fill it up. Maybe not easy, but I feel like it's definitely doable as long as you've paid attention to the news. All right, Eagles. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Vic Blunt. Now, Eagles, maybe they don't have a lot of like this. They got some superstars, but I think the Eagles are kind of like maybe my spot where I'm like every single team from here on out is like God tier. Like every single team below had like some holes and stuff that you have to use a lot of work and do a lot of work to kind of patch it up. They don't have like most powerful cards, but the Eagles starting here, I feel like there's a different threshold of theme teams are running. So like below here, what are we on? We're on theme team 21. Everything up is arguments for the best in the game with some adjustments. Maybe not the best, but pretty darn close to it. They got a bad secondary, but they got Brian Dawkins. Okay, they got a piece. Then you could obviously like fill in from other teams if you go 50-50. Like I talked about, Dion Sanders, Isaiah Simmons, Cam Chancellor, Derwin James. Like all these cards that are already like even without theme team boost, like 98, 99 speed and tall and can hit like crazy. You can solve these issues. So you can run like an Eagles theme team 50 out of 50 and have like just like their best players like Vic. You could have Blunt or Perry to like run people over. The issue with the Eagles though, so they're solid across the board. And that's the reason they rank so high. They got a great pass rush, Curse, White, solid. They're solid across the board, but the reason they're high on this list is they don't have those like standout, studly, phenomenal cars. They don't have those like superstars, so we'll say. So 3 usable quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts and Michael Vick, are very close to endgame-ish because of how good they are. But anyways, Philadelphia Eagles, very nice theme team right there. And they get that superstar at quarterback. Superstars, dual quarterback system right there. Baltimore Ravens at number 20. Now this confused me the most when I was out here ranking these things. Like, wow, Ravens, I actually really don't like your squad. Now if you guys recall, if you guys have subscribed to Gutfox 2, there was a video where I used the Ravens theme team, and I was super disappointed with how they played. Probably the worst playing theme team I've done over my years of playing theme teams. Maybe I just ran into goons those days, but like I didn't feel like my receivers were what they should have been. Obviously, I don't know if I had. It might have been maybe I did before. Was it before Zero Chill? I might have had Dion Sanders on that theme team. But like the receivers are like small, right? Okay. Tight end. Obviously it was before Mark Andrews. Well, I think it was before Team of the Year, so I don't have Waller here. But Waller was still in the game. He's just low overall. But right now, okay, God tier tight ends. Okay, wide receivers. Great running back. Ricky Williams, arguments for the best running back in the game due to his weight being like 230 and speed on the theme team. Their pass rush, though, Matthew Judon kind of sucks. I think the glitch is still in the game where you can use a 93, 94 power pass on him. Ray Lewis, a little slow. CJ Mosley, like these are just middle linebackers, but they're not like Luke Kuechly. Suggs is fine. I don't mind this card, but again, a little on the slow side if you're chasing down, especially escape artist quarterbacks, because people are moving back to escape artists. Your secondary, though, this is where you shine. Deion Sanders, Humphreys, fine. Williams, fine. Weddle, Ed Reed, right? We got like a million Ed Reed cards, and Ed Reed's strong safety plays all right. He's not the tallest guy in the field, which is kind of a problem. But like I said, you can kind of mask that with other things like zone KOs and stuff. But anyways, I think this is a team that gets like a million cards in their theme team. Like every promo comes out with at least one big Raven on it, so it stayed productive and solid through the year. Like if you chose like in Madden 23, if you're like, all right, I'm gonna make a Ravens theme team and stick with it through the year, I think it'll be as spoilers any theme team. The problem is they come out with cards, but like they don't have like the Ted Hendricks type, like the Isaiah Simmons type, like the absolute peak of the top, right? They get guys, their best players have all been a little bit in the slower positions that aren't loved in MUT, like Ray Lewis, absolute legend in the NFL. Middle linebackers aren't really used in MUT, outside of like, Kuechly because he's so fast right now. But Suggs, again, slow. Doomerville, I think, is solid, but 87 speed right now, a little slow. Great finesse move. But we're getting like defensive tackles and stuff at 90 speed. I don't know about Doomerville out there with that. But anyways, outside of Deion Sanders, obviously Deion Sanders. So the Ravens, though, overall, they've had a good year. It's just they've never been like, top of the charts. In previous years, they were. This year is not their year, though. Carolina Panthers is right there at number 20-something, 19, not 20 something. Panthers, they just got Cam Newton, and he's phenomenal. Love the way this Cam Newton play. I was pleasantly surprised with him. Definitely get Cam Newton if you like him. Absolutely get that card. He's great. Christian McCaffrey, I put escape artist on him, and yeah, go check out Gutfox 2 for that Cam Newton gameplay. Christian McCaffrey, great running back. The receiver core, maybe a little long in the tooth, but still powerful, right? Ruby Anderson right here gets the 99 speed at 6'3". You then have Keyshawn Johnson, 98 speed at 6'4". Come on, go back. DJ Moore, 5'11", but again, 99 speed, so he can be your slot guy and do some damage for you right there. The Keyshawn Johnson might actually be your slot because he's a route runner. It depends on what offense you run, of course. Tight end, Dan Arnold. Hey, Arnold, you're all right. Like a 92 speed, 6'6" tight end. It ain't so bad. Your offensive line, though, at least the left side's a little weak. You can move Remmers over there. Remmers is not a bad card. Chin is phenomenal. Love Chin. Burris, fine. Douglas, hit or miss. J.C. Horn, he's an old car, but it still checks out. It's like the access code in Star Wars. It's an old one, but he still checks out with 94 speed up to 98 on the theme team. We then have Kuechly right there. If the exercise we're doing where he doesn't go on every single theme team, even though he does, he's a huge benefit to the Panthers. Kevin Green, even though his stats aren't the highest, he's a demon off the edge. And then Reddick, same thing. He's actually got high stats. Reggie White could be an interior rusher for you. Panthers overall, very solid, and they got some superstar cards. So we're starting to really get up there with the best of the best. Next up at number 18, we have the Chiefs. Chiefs. Now, Chiefs, like the Ravens, have had like some top 3 theme team action in the past. We can go through previous years, right? Go back to like Madden 20. We saw the Chiefs for end the year, April 29th, at number 2 on my rankings. Madden 21, the Chiefs were number 1 to start the year, and then they went down to number 10. We got the Chiefs. They started to fall. Yeah, that's right. Last year, they kind of started stinking, so stopped getting upgrades. The Chiefs then went to 14, and the Chiefs got, where did the Chiefs end up in the yard? February, they got to number 5, and then that's it. And this is my ranking of which theme teams I actually put together last year and did videos on. All right. Kansas City Chiefs down to 18, right? Earlier this year, the Chiefs kind of continuing. They started at 7, then moved to 16, and then where'd they go? Chiefs went all the way down to 24 on December 30th. Big jumps. Now they're up to 18, so they've gotten a couple decent cards since then. So let's go ahead and take a look at their theme team. Montana really helps out. If you haven't used Montana, I recommend it. I actually really like Montana. I thought this card, he's got speed, so they got the wheels, throw power, accuracy, everything. His release, it's not anything like crazy, but it's pretty solid. Marcus Allen at running back. Okoye is thick. You got like a stable of horses right there you can unleash on your opponents. You then got fast receivers that are short, right? Horn's not tiny at 6'1", but still fast. Josh Gordon, like I talked about, hugely underrated. If he's on your theme team, get Josh Gordon. He's not on your theme team, you can pass on him. But theme team Josh Gordon up to 99 speed. One of the best tight ends in the game. 2 left tackles. So you got a great offensive line here. You put 1 left tackle in place of Kyle Long there, right guard. Short, I wouldn't want to use him. Thornhill's, your secondary, I think you got some good players here. You might even like L'Jarius Sneed is 6 foot. Even though he came out a long time ago, I think he's still relevant with theme team boost up to 98 speed. So overall, a solid secondary that you can make work for you. And then they got some okay passers. I like Derek Thomas better than 86 speed. Thomas is 91 speed. Yeah, Thomas much better than Suggs at pass rushing. Bolton, 94 speed middle linebacker, 96 on the theme team. It's definitely fine if you want to use something like that. D Ford, Ingram, Chris Jones. So, like I talked about, dude, people are going to be like, Chiefs are this low? Chiefs are incredible. Look at every position. It's got players that are making it work. Their secondary is the only thing that lets them down, okay? But still, the Chiefs, that's a team that's going to win a lot of games for you online. Detroit Lions. Okay, this theme team. You're like, Detroit Lions? What the H? What, am I going to use these? What, are they going to just bite my opponents in the knees? What else they got? Okay. All right. Stafford is good. He's not Namath. Night Train Lane was surprisingly great. Okay. Then they got 4 good running backs. I would probably have this list. Obviously, Blunt's your short yardage guy, or just jump over the line of scrimmage. Probably I'd use Adrian Peterson, although he played a little bit worse than I thought he would. Megatron. It's Megatron. What the heck do you need to know? I think the rest of these cards on St. Round are good. Are definitely good. 6 foot. Got the good medium route throwing. Golden Tate. Good. But like Megatron's obviously a superstar of the receiving core. The issue is he's got the worst archetype, whereas slot and route runner archetypes. So these guys actually might get you more yardage because their archetypes are better, so you can put better abilities on them. Anyways, Hawkinson. This card, I got a combine card, and all of a sudden, 92 speed, 6'5", incredible tight end. I mean, like, not incredible. There's a lot of guys that are similar to that, but like for the Lions theme team, it's something that they really haven't been used to. A great offense, not great, but a very good offensive line. You got Megatron, free safety out here. You got Diggs, who I might not want to use because of how short he is, but whatever. Night Train Lane, like best cornerback in the game. Probably the best quarterback in the game. Amani, unless you're on Xbox. Wait. Oh, that's the power-up. On Xbox, you literally can't buy them. So sucks to be you guys. But on PlayStation, I don't want to say God tier, but this card, even as 92, played so much better than I thought it would. 6'2", and rude as hell. Buchanan's fine. Barmy, Trufant, Slay. So you got great like defensive backs there. The issue, I think, if I recall correctly, is the lack of pass rush. You don't have a stud pass rush outside of like Freeney. You got some interior guys that are all right, but yeah, maybe I guess you could chem out Floyd, and that's about it. You activate him with his cheap chemistries, and then he'll be fine off the edge if you're in a 4-man rush. Otherwise, you got to like blitz to get home with the Lions. So they do have a weakness. The quarterbacks aren't God tier, and their pass rush is a little underwhelming. All right, next on the list. I always have such trouble ranking my favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, because like I'll look at a card and be like, oh yeah, man, he's great, and then like I'll like cover the name and the card art, and I'll look at stats and be like, this card's actually right. So it's hard to separate that. Vic, a lot of people hate him. I actually really like the way he played, but only if you use Escape Artist. If you don't use Escape Artist, you probably don't want to be using Vic. Roethlisberger is good too. A little bit long of a windup, but his pocket passer, so two decent quarterbacks. The running back position is fine. It's nothing crazy. Franco Harris. Mean Joe Green's actually like a halfback dive goon. This card on the theme team, 94 speed at 275 pounds. Yikes. Don't get in his way. Franco Harris is pretty good too. You can put him at tight end also, but the thing about the tight end is Freiermuth. Now, it would be cool if Freiermuth got a 99 overall card that was just on the Steelers, but because he's a season 3 reward, he is on everybody's team, so it's hard to say, okay, this is Steelers alone, but for this exercise, it's Steelers alone. Claypool, like endgame receiver. Brown's good, Deontay's good, Swan's good, Plexico's good. Like, they're all good. Hopefully Plexico gets a new card soon to be endgame there too, to make two like absolute studs. The problem is like physical archetypes, the worst archetype in the game. They got Antonio Brown as a route runner, but he's not 99 speed, so that really kind of hurts a little bit. And then they have an offensive line that's got maybe some holes over here on the right side. Palomalu's too short in Madden 22. I wanted him to play so much better, but unless he's like clearly statted like way better than every single player on the field, the height at 5'10" is going to show up for years and not going to work if they keep Madden 22. If they keep that like interaction system as they are, which I hope they do. Like, before in Madden 21 and previously to like 16 to 21, if a ball was thrown up, guys got into 2-man interactions, and the animation determined who caught the ball, which frequently, outside of 16, the defender came out on top. 15 and before and 22, probably going forward, they try and give them separate animations, which is why you see face catching back. So the problem with Troy Polamalu is because he doesn't trigger those animations anymore like we had the previous, 5 years, he's not going to be able to use this high-end zone coverage to interact with the ball, to interact with the receiver, to knock it out. Unless, of course, you just run into the player and get that knockout animation. But if you hit the Y button to try and pick it, you're going to get spec caught, which is why these guys aren't as good. Minka Fitzpatrick, solid, I think. Hilton's too short. Michael Vick's got bad play rec awareness. Depends on how much you believe in that. Achilles Willis would actually play pretty well for me. I didn't mind this. I use this card in my 25 Steelers theme team right now. 98 acceleration showed up really nice. Agility and change of direction is kind of a... It's more important than you think it is, okay? 94 zones, fine also. So overall, I really, he made some pretty nice stuff for me. But the rest of it, they got a good pass rush. I would use TJ Watt and Kevin Green on my edges for the pass rush. You can maybe have Ingram, but Mean Joe Green's the best defensive tackle in the game. Hargrave's good too. Mean Joe Green's the best. Even though he's thin, right? He gets inside stuff for 1 AP with 91 speed at 93 on the theme team. Yeah, put unpredictable inside stuff on him at D-tackle. He goes ham, okay? I love it. Okay, so next up. Video so long we had an outfits change. Number 15 will be the Washington football team. And for them, to be here, it means they've got what they've had the last few years, which is a stellar secondary, right? They have everybody from Dion Sanders. Like they got 5 good corners. They got Sean Taylor, Landry's usable, Houston's great at 6'3". Their offensive line has got some solid pieces there. What is that, 94 plus across the board? Did I just see? Oh, they got a 92 right there, right guard. Right, left guard are the least of the positions that you need an offensive line. Obviously, the tackles being the most important ones. The issue with Washington, you're like, wow, that's a cracked team, is the quarterback position. Now, like I said, if we were like saying, hey, well, everybody but the quarterback, you could sub in, name it, then obviously this team would be a little bit higher. They've got very good, I will say, like their receivers. They're not the big type. They're the ones that you kind of want to run. If you have more of like a West Coast scheme, get the ball in their hands and let them get upfield. You throw some bubbles to them. That's pretty solid. They also have one of the top tight ends in the game, so shout out to that. They got a great number 2 tight end if you run that kind of, or like, and then John Bates right here for number 3 is not bad either. What's his run block? That's really 97 run block on this guy. Really only you're going to use a third tight end in goal line situations, or I guess they're like single back on all those 3 tight end sets, etc., etc. So, good at number 15. Like I said, Washington would be probably up in the top 10 if it weren't for the horrendous quarterback spot they have. Next up will be Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How much does it cost to pierce a pirate's ear about a Buccaneer? I think that's like the 5th time I've told that joke. Smile. Maybe 4 of those times were on Twitch, and so only 1 on YouTube. Welcome YouTube, the scraps of Twitch. To be fair, I gotta speak for like 4 hours a day, so I run low on material there. So we get a little desperate. Okay, anyways, Tom Brady, number 1. Okay, great quarterback. Discount on Gunslinger, Hot Route Master, very important. AP is absolutely like, hard to come by an offense since it didn't go up like defense. The running back situation is fine. Not crazy, but they got All-Stat now. All-Stat with 1 AP tank. Check out my second channel. I think I'm going to release that video after this one later tonight. Check out that, dude. Check out All-Stat. It's just 1 AP tank. He's kind of fun to run with, I will say. And then he gets up to 97 speed on this theme team. Beautiful. Obviously, you can go running back strat items if you want. Receivers, they got a tall guy, and they got a couple tall guys. The problem with Evans, he's not very fast, right? Actually, 98 speed. I forgot about that. He actually has 98 speed, so that's good enough. So they got 2 tall 98 speed guys, Antonio Brown or Jackson. If you want a route runner versus a deep threat, you go with a Godwin instead of Antonio Brown, because Godwin plays pretty well. I think he played pretty well for me too. Yeah, I actually used this Godwin card. And he played, he got open. He's got the route running thresholds, does a good job. Rob Gronkowski, one of the best tight ends in the game, 6'6". Obviously, not that fast. He's not that much slower than a lot of other guys, right? Like we saw, the top ones are like 94 speed. So you lose 3 speed, which, to be fair, is significant. But it is Rob Gronkowski. He'll hang on to everything with 97 catching traffic. Plus, he's nice and thick. So Gronk, solid tight end. Your offensive line is pretty good. Your left tackle and offensive line wasn't good. Your secondary, they got John Lynch down here. The John Lynch is actually like super underrated in my opinion. Everybody's got him like a team captain, but this is like the actual John Lynch. This is the team captain card. There's a 90. Whoa. I was confused. I thought there was a higher John Lynch. Maybe because the team captain got upgraded. Why was I thinking there was a higher John Lynch? But anyways, 94 speed at 6'2". He's a great card. 96 hit power, 94 zone. Incredible, strong safety there, tall, fast, everything you want. Andrew Adams here, not necessarily as tall, which kind of sucks, but he's fast at least. But then, like, if you want, you can put, like, Sherman back there at safety, Talib, Barber. Buchanan's okay. Revis, I'd probably put above Buchanan. But there's a solid DB core there. Phenomenal guys across the board. Your pass rush looking nice. You got one of the best run-stopping defensive tackles in the game. Vita's just a little bit slower than you want to see it, only 79. Sap about the same speed there. So, put inside stuff on these guys, and you're going to have a fun time trying to stop the run. Well, maybe not RPO stretches. Those things are still a pain in the ass. But at the edge threat, you'll probably use JPP. You could use Broderick Thomas, but I don't mind activating Leonard Floyd there on defense since he has some nice, cheap abilities. Floyd's on a lot of these defenses. Yeah, he has every single team chem from the NFC. That's right. That's too bad. I forgot. They put him there. So I always see Leonard Floyd. I'm like, yeah, just activate him. But I forgot. I don't know if he's a part of this franchise or not, because I don't know. It's weird that Montana GG had those cards on them activated. Number 13, Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons are like stars and scrubs. Okay, a lot of teams I'm saying, oh, these guys are solid across the board. But like I think Falcons though, they're one of the teams where like they really got some holes. But then they got superstars like Vic. They got Dickerson, Cordell Patterson. I'd argue Patterson's probably better than Dickerson. The way they ran for me, Patterson did better. Julio and Ridley are certified superstars. Horn's a great receiver. Same Hester and Sanders, all like a stocked wide receiver core. Then they got arguably like it's crazy. 94 speed at 6'6". Been like the best tight end since he came out in blitz, which was legitimately what, end of November. Now it's end of February. So it's crazy how he really haven't improved much from the Kyle Pitts card, and he's been that game changing since that spot. Now they got holes. Left guard ain't great, but you can put Lindstrom there. The right tackle ain't great at all. You don't really have anything else to put there. Free safety, strong safety, but you got Cordell Patterson you can move back there. Terrell should get an upgraded card, I feel like. You got Trufant Sanders. Trufont's all right there. He's got a slot apprentice, he's got the slot archetype, which is the worst of the CB archetypes. But Dion Sanders is a stud. He played, like, even though he's like short, he's only 6 foot, he still played freaking amazing for me. I really like that Dion Sanders card. Your pass rush, you've got basically Dwight Freeney and the Floyd that everybody gets, and that's about it. And so it is what it is. All right. But Atlanta Falcons, I do love them for their stars approach to the game because they have it where you want it. Wide receivers and DBs. Number 12, Arizona Cardinals. Another one kind of along that same line where they got like some great Kyler Murray. If you want to go with more of the pocket passing one, you go Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer's actually like 88 speed, not like incredibly slow. They got Chris Johnson, Kenyon Drake, Adrian Peterson. If you want to rotate your backs at all, they got a depth of horses there. Larry Fitzgerald, they actually gave him enough speed to hit 99, which is kind of rare for Larry Fitzgerald. Usually they do not juice that on him, but so Larry Fitzgerald juiced to high heaven. We then have Rashad, Hopkins, Green. Nothing too crazy here. Hopkins should get an upgraded card. Rashad's pretty good, 6'2" at that spot. Actually, it's a deep route running and medium route running. All the route running thresholds there, so Rashad a little bit better than I thought originally. So Rashad's pretty good. I'd say that's a solid enough receiver core. Zach Ertz, Leonard Davis, then good. Not the glitchiest, but good. Great offensive line, too. Wow. 95, 98, 94, 97, and 94. Okay. All right. Love it. And then Simmons. Matthew, almost unusable. I know a lot of people like using Honey Badger, but it's just, there's no reason to use somebody that tiny on the field in Mutt. Wilson's got good stats. I don't like the way that he doesn't hit people very hard. So don't try and hit stick people with Larry Wilson. He hasn't played well for me in a little bit. His hit power is, what's his hit power? Oh, 93. Actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Larry Wilson's actually only 6 foot, but 93 hit power is higher than I thought. For some reason I thought it was high 80s. Larry Wilson, yeah, he's more than usable at free safety. And then they got the best corner in the game. You get to argue Dion, maybe other people, but like Night Train Lane's kind of like the most complete guy there. Patrick Peterson, phenomenal, plays super well, rolls good. So they got like basically great players across the board. Their pass rush, Reddick and Freeney, and then J.J. Watt at defensive tackle. It's pretty darn nice. The reason I haven't rated this earlier, like, wow, that's a great team. Why are they only, what was it, number 13 or something? I think it's because, like, maybe I didn't love how unsexy their wide receiver core. They don't have a fullback, but you guys get, like, the Marshawn Lynch or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I underrated the Cardinals. Because, like, looking at this team, I'm like, whoa, this is going to be a hard team to beat. But then, like, I go to the next squad. And it's like New York Giants, okay? So obviously the teams are getting better as we go, and each team just reinforces how crazy it is. Phil Simms, a good field general. Tiki Barber, good. They got Zonka, one of the best fullbacks in the game. They got a wild wide receiving core too, and they're tall. Plus Odell Beckham, probably the best of like the short wide receivers. They got a great tight end. Offensive line is solid outside of their center. I guess you can move Remmers there. Jabril didn't play well for me. When I had him, I didn't have him on the theme team, or did I? Did I have a Giants theme team when I got him? I don't remember because I did run a Giants theme team for a little bit. But anyways, their safety situation is solid. I guess it's not glitchy, but it's solid. Their cornerback situation's really nice there. Maybe the Jackrabbit number 3 isn't the best. Was Bradbury any good? NA3 speeds, it's all right, I will say. Pierre-Paul, good. Van Pelt, not as great. They got, Strahan as an edge rusher. Lawrence, the inside. They got Linval Joseph as an inside stuff. That's gorgeous. So anyways, I just, you're like, whoa, okay. Well, now I can see why the Cardinals are not any higher, because the Giants are just as wacky with them. And plus, they got, the best receiver in the game, Colin Johnson, which you guys have already heard me ramble about and rant about and how disgusting it is that they don't have him. Number 10, Dallas Cowboys. So I'm really into the God squads now, right? I could see an argument for any team from the Cardinals on up to be the best team in the game and the theme team because of what you can put on them with the Simmonses, the Hendricks, not the Hendricks, but the Cam Chancellors, the guys that you can use to fill holes. Tony Romo here, he's usable. Top 20 quarterback in the game probably. He gets Hyrule Master Gunslinger, I do believe. I think he might have been the second guy to get that. Pollard right there, running back's good enough. The receivers are good. I'd say, very good. They're not mega tall, but they're very good. They got a decent amount of tight ends here, 298 overalls, and Ditka and Jarwin. Tyron Smith should get an upgrade soon. Larry Allen's great. Maybe we could use Zach Martin to center or something like that, and then right tackle's fine. Your strong safety, free safety are the weakest parts of the squad, but your cornerback situation is kind of crazy. You can kind of move one of these guys back to free safety if you'd so like. You then have DeMarcus Ware and Robert Quinn as edges, which are kind of some of the top 5 edges in the game, maybe. I'd have to go through and look at them. Maybe I should do a video breaking them out. And then you got Micah Parsons, who's literally glitched out at left outside linebacker. Or he was. I think all left outside linebackers get run stuff for one now? Or is it just him still? But anyways, he's glitched out. He's great. Gregory's solid. So you got an incredible front 7 that you can put out there with this thing. The only downside is you don't have huge hitters with the speed at safety that some squads do. But overall, I really enjoy, and I enjoyed when I used the Cowboys theme team, how they were. So I if you're gonna argue that maybe Cowboys should be below Cardinals, I'm not gonna be angry with you on that one. I might stick with what I have Cowboys there, but oh man, I don't know. I really don't. Let's just throw the Cowboys back down to 12. Let's audible on that. We're gonna go with the number 9 will be the Titans. The Titans, dude, these guys, the Titans have some wild things. The issue also with a lot of these cards, like Chris Johnson, Dion Sanders, is do they actually need the theme team boost? Because they're already 99 speed. They're already maxed out on stats. A lot of these theme teams don't really add a lot for the cards that I'm showing off on the theme team. So we're at a certain point in the game where we just kind of maxed out, and maybe the theme teams are good to keep them there. But then you must start to move your abilities, your other strat cards to other positions, so that way the theme team kind of helps out, right? The Deion Sanders, you can move if you have a theme team, if they get the plus up to 99 speed, you might as well just take your strat cards and put them into other positions like middle linebacker or something, or linebackers or whatever on defense to make them faster. Tight ends on offense, running backs on offense. If you get what I'm saying. Derrick Henry, still, top 3 to 5 quarterbacks in the game. Some would argue even higher because of the way he hangs out of the ball and the way he trucks dudes. But Derrick Henry, wild. Some would argue lower, right, because of his inaccuracy. Derrick Henry's been incredible since he came out. Then if you don't want to go Derrick Henry quarterback, if you want to use Vince Young for some reason, you then have the best thunder and lightning combination in the game with those two right there between Henry and Johnson. Your fullbacks are fine. Your receivers are great. And Andre Johnson's super underrated. 95 speed, so he's up to 99 with the theme team boosts. And then his run blocking's 84. So Joyner, an incredible 99 speed slot, easy. I think he's 97 stock. Moss will probably get an upgrade. Julio just got a card. Incredible wide receiver core. Then you got a great fullback or blocking tight end. You can put him at fullback if you want. Jared Cook's a great tight end, just stock. Because he's 6'6". We talked about him earlier. Your offense line's fine. Your strong safeties, Kenny Houston. You can go Jack Tatum as a backup. Logan Ryan's right there too. I don't know why they have Logan Ryan at both spots. Is this a mistake? Logan Ryan CB, Logan Ryan free safety. Yeah, it's a mutt.gg quirk. Logan Ryan's power-up's a free safety, and his cornerback is a CB, or his non-power-up. So the downside of the Titans theme team, why they're not higher, because they got a ton of incredibly talented, well-statted cards here, is the DBs. They're a little weak at corner, and that's like the only weakness of the squad. Since then they have good everything on offense. Pretty good pass rush here too. Especially you got Al Woods, run stopper. Obviously, not the best D tackle in the game, but these cards can get inside stuff, which is good enough just to stop the run. And then you get the pressure off Curse on the edge. Curse and at least either Bud Dupree's fine. Otherwise, a rack pose out there too. All right, next up on the list, number 8. We're getting to those top ones. I am surprised Denver Broncos fell. They were insane, but it looks like they've slowed down a little bit, getting the cards from what they used to have. We got Tebow at quarterback, and really the quarterback situation is kind of why they fell a little bit. They don't have one of the top tier quarterbacks in the game. The only reason Tebow's not there, I didn't love his windup, and lefties have the glitch where if you try and escape artist right, they take like a false step and it's a little slower than righties going left. So it's a little bit of a glitch on lefties here, which is why Tim Tebow isn't as good as like the other escape artist quarterbacks. That's why you didn't see a lot of Tim Tebow when the escape artists like Meta took off, when we had Derrick Henry, Jalen Hurts, Russell Wilson, etc., etc. The running back situation also isn't insane. Williams is good though. I like his speed. I like his break tackle right there. 215 pounds is it though. You really want somebody heavy there. Fullback is The wide receivers are very good. I don't think they're glitchy though. They're good. Tight end, one of the best in the game. They got 2 of one of the best in the game. Fant 94 speed right there. So 2 great tight ends. 2 tight end sets on the Broncos theme team. And it looks pretty powerful if you go like a slot offset or an under center. I think I'm switching to an under center offense just because I want to be a little different than what I've run all year in shotgun. I feel like under center offenses are underrated and overpowered. John Lynch, Dawkins, Simmons, they're solid. The only reason I don't like Simmons, he's incredibly fast, right? Acceleration, speed, agility, it's all great right there. Zone coverage. The only reason I don't like this card is the fact that he's not a super hitter, right? Blocks you 77. Hit power is only 87 for Justin Simmons, and he's only 202 pounds. So he's not going to be able to like man up like and stare down Derrick Henry and try and hit stick him to the ground. He won't be able to like really jar it loose as much on wide receivers as guys that would be thicker and higher hit power and what they can do. But I will say the Denver has like an incredible amount of cornerbacks that can, break up passes and hit like 99 speed. So, wow. Also, God tier edges between DeMarcus, Chubb. You got Von Miller up here too. And then interiors, Jackson is fine. Derek Wolfe is okay since he can get that 1 AP inside stuff. But anyways, yeah, Denver Broncos theme team. It's been great for like 3 months, or when did I last do this one? Theme team rankings. December 30th. Where'd they rank at December? The start of December. Yeah, they were 5th at the start. So they were good at the start of December. By December 30th, a lot of people have already switched to a Broncos theme team and was running them. And so they've fallen a bit because of like the lack of superstar cards that they've kind of received. But overall, you could still win a ton of games with that squad. Next up, at number 7 will be the Cincinnati Bengals. The Super Bowl participant got a lot of cards because they made the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow getting a 97 overall, okay, 98 overall made him incredible. Otherwise, you got Carson Palmer. If you have something against Burrow, I don't know, maybe you don't like LSU players. I don't know. Maybe they put he puts the jerk in beef jerky. He puts the worst and worst swag. I'm done. Joe Mixon, good running back. Great, incredible receivers, right? Between Chad Johnson, Jamar Chase, Charlie Joyner. Holy crap. Is that, if it's not the best, it's one of the best receiving cores we've seen so far. 2 outside guys that are deep threats, and then you go to a slot at Joyner. All 99 speed, all beautiful. Not like overly tall, right? I think the tallest one is Chad Johnson right here at 6'1", but they'll get separation for you. And they got the decent archetypes, route runner, slot right there. The only downside of the Bengals theme team, and maybe the thing that's keeping them from being like a top 5 team, is the tight end spot. They don't have it. Their offensive line, though, they got 3 tackles over 96 overall, 94. You can move one of them to like a center. 97, Quentin Spain, and then a 96, Riley Reed. Yep, I said it right. Then they got a 96 kicker, if we're going to talk about kickers, right? He's not the best in the game as Tucker's that, but McPherson's pretty freaking close. Their safeties are all right. Taylor Mays is, God tier, basically. He's no Tony Baselli, of course, at safety. Solid corners, but not the tallest, the best. They don't play that well out there, but they're pretty well attributed. As for their pass rush, Jordan Willis somehow's got a high card. No clue. Hendrickson's actually a really good card. They got DJ Reader at defensive tackle, who is incredible with the inside stuff. And they want one more. No, they got 2 edges, don't they? Yeah, 2 edges and I guess 1 interior that they'd want to use. I guess they can run like Carl Lawson or something inside. They can run one of these guys inside. And that's what I do for the Bengals. But Bengals theme team looking super strong. Number 7 for you. Number 6 will be the New England Patriots. Hey, do you guys know Tom Brady played for the New England Patriots before he won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers? Yeah, kind of crazy that like he played most of his career in New England, but everybody only remembers him for his time in Tampa. But anyways, yeah, he's got a 99 card there. He's also got Cam Newton. So you've got like an embarrassment of riches at the quarterback spot for New England. Cordell Patterson, who I've talked about through this whole thing, is potentially one of the best running back in the game. Chad Johnson, great. Josh Gordon, I've waxed poetic about him already. Brandon Cooks, Antonio Brown, Moss. He'll probably get an ultimate legend sometime soon since he's only a 94 overall. Maybe we'll give him like a 98 overall to be able to power up to 99. Ultimate legend. Gronk, great tight end. Obviously, if you're a tight end speed slut, then he's not your greatest, but he's a catching traffic dominator. Great offensive line. Free safety. Logan Ryan. Rodney Harrison's a little slow, so got to knock points for that. But then, like, you can always, if you don't like Rodney Harrison's speed, you can just move one of these guys back to strong. Sure, they're not going to hit like Rodney Harrison, but they'll be able to chase down dudes better than him. And then, like, their front 7 is filled with nothing but big, sexy beef. Hicks and Wilfork, I think they combined like 700 pounds. Maybe a little. They made Vince Wilfork really thin for some reason. They took his like combine measurement when, we all remember like the 400-pound Wilfork, not like 320-pound skinny boy. All right, number 5, New York Jets. The Jets. So like I just want to say it again. Like I said before, all of these teams are like top tier. Like they're just a couple of changes, a couple of other cards, whether it be Cam Chancellor, and these are all, they'll all win you a lot of games in Weekly League if you're good enough. This team has Namath, who I consider the best quarterback in the game right now, on the Jets. Wow. Johnson, fastest running back in the game. Probably not the best in my opinion, but he's still great. Harvin, phenomenal. Marshall, tall. Johnson, tall. Robbie Anderson, tall. Tall and fast. Plax probably will get an upgrade soon. We'll hopefully cross our fingers. The downside of the Jets is no tight ends. Your left tackle's bad. You can move like Faneca out to left tackle, gets that out of position chem there. Or you can take, obviously, Baselli. Because your secondary, Ed Reed, Jamal Adams, Burris probably won't play for you. Ronnie Lott, who you're like, isn't he short? Yeah. But he smacks the heck out of dudes. Also, deep out KO. Deep out KO if you put him at corner. Or put him at nickel. Height's important at nickel, but not as important, I feel like, as it is deep. Aaron Glenn. Law, Revis, Vicks, fine. Not great, but fine. Your pass rush. You can have Jason Taylor, Jordan Willis. Jason Taylor's actually kind of cool because he's a run stopper. And he's fast. He's one of the best. He's one of the fastest run stoppers in the game. So 1 AP inside stuff now that I got lowered for right ends means that you can put him at D tackle in your nickel packages and rush him with an inside stuff. So you're not weak against the run. You got Sheldon Richardson, Quinnen Williams, you want inside stuff there too. So a pretty solid overall defensive line in my opinion. And overall team outside of those couple positions. Number 4, the 49ers. Now we kind of get to teams that are like basically, they've got players everywhere. They really don't have a lot of weaknesses. And they have top of the meta stud coverage studs. Joe Montana, one of the best quarterbacks in the game. We've talked about him due to his speed, due to his abilities, and those buckets right there. 92 speed on Montana. It was just ludicrous when he got announced with 92 speed. Roger Craig is fine. All right. Maybe you'll say, okay, the halfback position isn't the glitchiest. You can use Debo Lee that running back, or more likely you want him at receiver. Jerry Rice is, like, I'm not going to say end game, but he's there at 99 speed, right? 96 speed easily comes up to 99. You don't even need a full 50-50 to get there. Dion Sanders, okay. Moss, when he gets an upgrade, good there too. Vernon Davis, Charlie Young, Leonard Davis, if you want a goal line guy. George Kittle. Like, tight ends are wild. Your offensive line is minimum 94s across the board, up to like, what was it, 97, 98, 96. Yeah, incredible offensive line. The downside, okay. Maybe, like, you got to shift Taylor Mays to strong safety. I'm sorry about that. And then you got Ronnie Lott at free. Your cornerbacks. I'd put Sherman on the outside. Achille Witherspoon, like I talked about on the Steelers team, played well for me. DJ Reed, what would I do with him at 5'9"? I'd probably leave him on the bench personally. But it's hard to leave a 98 overall on the bench. But you do have already an embarrassment of riches there. I guess you could throw one of these guys at safety, then User, Taylor, or Cam Chancellor, or Ronnie. I'd probably use a Taylor Mays right there. Fred Warner, but you're not really going to use him since he only gets to 94 speed. Kevin Green's a good rusher. Bosa, Willis right there. Buckner at D tackle. So really got it everywhere. And that's why they're at number 4. You're like, wow, number 4? Like, when I first look at the Niners, I'm like, no way that isn't the number 1 overall team in the game. But like I said, all these teams have arguments for number 1 depending on what other cards you put on their squad. The only reason the Raiders aren't number 1 is due to this position right here. Carson Palmer is passable, but I don't really want him leading my squad right now. So this is the number 1 squad in my opinion, as long as you put like Joe Namath as your quarterback. And then like you're just going to look through the embarrassment of riches the Raiders have right now. Like the Raiders were the best themed team to start the year. And then they kind of waned off when EA stopped releasing like every card for them. They like EA made a concerted effort not to keep the Raiders theme team going. And then they're like, open the floodgates. Let them all go. Tons of Raiders. Okay, so anyways. Eric Dickerson, Marcus Allen, Cordell Patterson. Like, is it crazy like Cordell Patterson is like the 3rd running back, but he might be the best in the game? Fullback, they got a good one. Wide receivers. Okay, I could see the argument if you're like, well, the wide receiver core isn't that glitchy. I mean, like, Cliff Branch played pretty meh for me, but he's 99 speed, right? Deshaun Jackson right here. Good card, 96 speed, fast, short. Jerry Rice is phenomenal. Waller and Cook. Okay, Waller and Cook. Arguments for one of the top tight end rotations of the game. Miller's good. Saffold's good. Hudson. Okay, you could argue. I could see there. Good isn't good. You can move Parker down to guard, but I mean, whatever. 89 overall right guard. You can always just sub in somebody else for that. And then they got Ted Hendricks, right? The best, like I said, strong safety on a theme team because he's 97 speed. Love that guy. Love Ted Hendricks. This guy, when I've gone against him, has ruined me more than any other card. When he's been for me, I will say I do remember one really bad play where the ball was sort of his face at the goal line. He did like a 360 the other way before trying to, but that's Madden. They got Lott and Mays on this team too. We're not even talking about Nelson and Tatum. Then they got Hayward, Buchanan, Trufant, Patterson. Patterson is still super relevant. Charles Woodson's going to get an upgrade soon. He's got it, right? 93 overall Charles Woodson. I'd be surprised if he's not an Ultimate Legend soon. And then for pass rush, Richard Seymour came out, it feels like 10 years ago, but he's still more than relevant at 310 pounds, 6'6", 90 speed. You can put him inside of the edge because you got Warren Sapp, one of the best run-stopping defensive tackles because he's got inside stuff on him and his thick. Then Max Crosby. Him, I think he's the best edge in the game. I could see the argument for Elroy Hirsch because he got a little bit more change of direction and everything, but Max Crosby on the Raiders theme team, I think right now is 98 speed for me because of the super suit. 98 speed edge with 98 acceleration. Blows my mind. 98 finesse move too. So, right. Incredible interior, incredible exterior, defensive line. Same thing on your secondary. The only downside is maybe like if you don't want short receivers outside of Jerry Rice. Still. Oh my God. Seahawks. It was a hard decision between Seahawks and Raiders for number 2 because I took Seahawks because of Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson's just that much better than Carson Palmer at that position that I went Seahawks. But like, look at this squad here. Very good, stable of backs there. Nothing like too glitchy. I like Cordell Patterson better than all of them. I think like the top 3 running backs for the Raiders maybe better than all 3 of these. But these guys are no slouches themselves, don't get me wrong, because you're only running 1 running back anyways. They also have Franco Harris, who's a very good fullback, maybe top 2 in the game. The receiving core, Josh Gordon is somebody I'd start. He'd be my number 1 probably, or 2 with Jerry Rice. My number 3 would probably be Percy Harvin, and I usually run like 3 wide receiver sets. Charlie Young, I think, is passable. I can see, like, my main issue is his medium route running not hitting 90. So him not being able to hit the route running threshold really kind of gives me pause for Charlie Young. He's good. He's 6'4", 92 speed. So that's kind of like the biggest weakness. Once maybe Jimmy Graham will get an upgraded card and we'll be fine with that. But anyways, Walter Jones, Lewis Mawai. Their offensive line is good. I guess the right tackle is the worst part about it. I guess you can run this guy outside if he's got better attributes. Otherwise, I mean, I know Cam Chancellor gets every single theme team chem. We got him all the way up on my team, and he plays insane. Strong safety, 99 overall. But for this exercise, he's only on the Seahawks. Okay. And they got Adams there, too. Diggs, I probably wouldn't want to play if I could avoid him on the field. My dude, DK Metcalf is insane still. Sherman, same way. 6'3", both of them. And then you could either choose between, like, Sean Springs, Achille Witherspoon if you want a 6'2" guy, or you could put one of these guys at safeties if you want to end up using Cam Chancellor and then Jamal Adams back there with one of those guys at safeties. It is what it is. As for your pass rush, yeah, I guess like middle linebacker, by the way, you probably don't want to run because he's slow. But as for your pass rush, you got Freeney. I will say the biggest downside of the entire team is maybe you want a better end than Jadeveon Clowney to the opposite side Freeney for you, but that's about it. Seahawks, strong throughout. And talk about an absolute complete team. This next team, the Los Angeles Rams. They are number 1. I mean, it makes sense that the Super Bowl winner would have the best theme team in the game. Joe Namath, best quarterback in the game. Great. Stafford's fine, but I would run Joe Namath, especially with a theme team boost. He's incredible. They got Dickerson, top 5 running back. Cooper Kupp, top 3 receiver. Beckham, top 5 to 10. Torrey Holt, still really good. I would run Jared Cook over Higbee due to route running thresholds. Best left tackle in the game. The rest of their offensive line is okay, I think. Maybe the right guard, you could argue, 89 overall isn't good enough. But then their defense, Nick Scott's fine, Weddle's good. But their secondary Night Train Lane on the cornerback spot. Jalen Ramsey is like, Mudda Gigi got him at like number 5 here. He's probably going to start him. David Law, like, you just have so much embarrassment of riches. You can't even start all your best cards. Robert Quinn off the edge is great. You then have arguably the best pass rusher in the game, Elroy Hirsch. Aaron Donald in the middle. Von Miller is crazy. Kevin Green plays above his stats. Probably won't even rush him. Jack Youngblood. Like, a lot of people forget this. Like, this isn't the team captain. This is the upgraded one. 91 speed for Jack Youngblood in the middle of your defense with 97 finesse, 96 power. Just incredible, dude. Block shed 99. I like maxed out just about. And you can't even really find a spot from on the field a lot of times because you got Hirsch, Donald, Vaughn, and Robert Quinn. But you'll probably play him over Robert Quinn. But what a rotation for pass rushing. So anyways, Rams, incredibly complete, incredibly meta cards. And I think overall the best theme team in the game right now. So there you go. The Rams, for winning the Super Bowl, went from 17 on the 30th of December all the way up to number 1. Otherwise, a lot of these teams, it is kind of sick in a bad way that a lot of the teams that you see start the year kind of stay there. Actually, Titans died. Oh, no, Titans went to 9. Never mind. But like a lot of the teams that have been good stayed good. It'd be cooler. And I don't know. Like, I know the Steelers, we were really bad for a long time because we had no secondary and, like, piss poor receivers. But we started to get a little bit better as the year went along. It would have been cooler to be higher for my theme team, but at least we went in the right direction. Hopefully next year we can kind of stay like the Giants, right? Giants were number 1 for a long time. They went down to number 9, and then they bottomed out at 10. But like I talked about, everything from like 10 up were all God squads, and you really wouldn't have been bad off with any of them. So, anyways, that's what I got. That's what Madden's went to. We might do one more theme team ranking in a couple months. But there you are. There's the history of the theme teams this year. Hopefully, your team, if it's one down here, I mean, dude, all these teams are going to play well, except for maybe Houston. There's a few ones that really suffer, but there you go. That's my ranking. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know if I messed up anywhere. If you liked it, please like it. Subscribe to the channel. Really helps out. Thanks for watching. Call to action. I will see you tomorrow.